Hi guys and welcome. Today we're talking about one of the hosts from The View, Sunny Hostin, and her son as he was stopped by police and she tried to use her privilege to get him out of it. So let's get into it. So when I saw this come up, I was ready to be like, I'm gonna dog on Sunny Hostin because in general I don't like her. Well, it's not that I don't like her, I just think she's a bit of a hypocrite and she spreads a lot of misinformation. So I was ready to be like, I'm gonna pile on her. But when I watched it, it wasn't really that bad. So a little more tame because I don't want to be that kind of person who just like doesn't like someone immediately like, yeah, this was horrible, this I want to like be fair, right? So let's go in and watch it and let's like be fair about it and see what everyone's talking about. Okay, so let's get into it.
Brian, is that your badge number 2814?
Yes. So the reason we're stopping you, this is trespassing right here.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was open over there. I was just walking on a run here.
Where are you coming from? All the way over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, it just looked open for me, so I just walked in.
So this is considered trespassing. It's criminal trespass. The reason why it's such a big deal, people get hit by a train all the time. We want to prevent it, obviously.
Can you please...
you want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, my mom, the phone's at 2%, FYI. Here you go.
So yeah.
Police are being like very calm and like polite and everything with them, and he's being polite as well too, pretty much. But he is kind of coming off with a little bit of arrogance, being like, oh, is that your badge number? So a little bit, right? But everything seems calm in this situation, right? We get Sunny on the phone.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor.
Yes.
Hey mom, how are you? This is Officer Gomez. Your son's fine, right?
Officer Gomez,
How are you?
This is
Yes.
former federal prosecutor.
Okay,
That's
fair
my
enough.
son.
Yep.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Yes.
Good, Katie's from Harvard, which that doesn't really matter. Someone could have a good education and still commit crimes and do the wrong thing. So I get that she's trying to be like, no, he's like a good boy. He's a good boy. He's not doing this on purpose. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt there. But just throwing out that he's from Harvard doesn't mean that they can be like, sorry, oops, we didn't know he's from Harvard. We'll just let it slide. Like, it's no big deal, right? Like, that's not really how it works. But I do understand where she's coming from. I get it. And she just say I was a federal prosecutor. I saw people saying, oh, she's using her like clout from The View. I don't think she brings that up. I couldn't find it. But she does say she was a former federal prosecutor, which I think is fine because I think if you are a parent, you are going to try to protect your kid and like let them know like, hey, don't mess around with my kid. So I don't see that as being too bad. It's just hypocritical coming from her, as we'll see later, that she has a lot of times been like, oh, if you do a crime, like it's a crime, like doesn't matter who you are. So that's where it gets like a little sticky in this situation and why it comes off bad when she's doing it.
Issue is, like I told your son, is this is considered criminal trespassing. So besides being illegal, it's actually very dangerous for him to be around the railroad tracks. You know, we get people that get hit all the time. So we make this a big issue because it's a serious thing. People get hit.
I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you for protecting him.
No problem. Listen. You know, we just have to do our due diligence here. Okay, your son is fine. I promise.
And the cops are really good for explaining the situation. So he's running in an area that's like private property and it's quite dangerous. Oh, there was a hummingbird right by my head. Okay. And it's quite dangerous because it's by like a train station. So he could probably get electrocuted. He could get like run over while we're stopping you. And this is why people are not allowed in here. So they're kind of explaining it. They're trying to be like, hey, this is for your safety as well. I don't want you getting hurt and you just can't be in here. And I do believe that each state is a bit different on their like trespassing laws. Like some places are more intense than others, and in Canada I think same thing. Like it depends, right? And it depends what property you're going on to that determines like what happens to you, like if it is like a misdemeanor or if you're getting charged or stuff like that, right? So I think it depends on the situation, the area, and like what place you're trespassing in, and that determines what happens.
I have a question too, because could we talk about how the gate was like completely open? Is that like a hazard? That's something.
I mean, that's a question you can arise in court. There's hundreds of railroad workers.
Me and others in the community.
Correct. So you can bring that up in court, okay?
And obviously he does go on to explain like, oh, the gates were open, so I just assumed you could run in here, which is, I could see that happening like by mistake. You're like, oh yeah, this seems like an open place to run. It seems fine. It's open. I could see him making that mistake. I don't think he genuinely was trying to do anything wrong or be malicious or bad. One second, my cat's trying to get up on the couch with me. 1 second. Eat my little boy. Okay. I don't think he was trying to do anything bad or illegal. Like, I think this was just a mistake. Even though sometimes it's just a mistake, it can still be a crime, right? Or illegal, or you will have to pay those consequences a lot of times. So just because it was a mistake doesn't always mean, oh, okay, you just get a pass and like go on your merry little way, right?
Writing your son what's called an appearance ticket. I'm sure you know what that is.
Why would you put something on his record like this?
No, it's dumbing it down to a violation. That's all it is. So it's not have to appear, which is an inconvenience. I understand that. But with all due respect, ma'am, I still have a job to do.
I understand, but what I'm asking of you is once a judge gets this, there is a path.
What happens if you didn't do it?
What do you mean?
What happens if you're like, oh, I would like to write this?
Well, we have cameras everywhere. If we didn't see you, somebody would have called it over.
Correct.
Our hands are tied. It is what it is. Listen, I really appreciate you.
This does come across as like a little privileged, how she's like, what? You're putting it on his record? Like, why would you do that to him? Which, like, that's kind of what happens. But I get it as a mom. She's like, oh my gosh, like this simple little mistake, like don't put it on his record. So I get that. But I don't know, like the tone, you can see why people are a little upset, right? We do see again in a minute when she shows up, she kind of does the same thing again.
Being cool about this, Hi, miss, how are you? I'm Officer Gomez. I apologize for this. So, like I explained to you, normally it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset. Again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides being illegal, it's dangerous. So that's pretty much it. Okay.
I'm a former federal prosecutor. He knows he's a Harvard grad who teaches fourth grade geometry to South Bronx kids.
Oh,
He's not a kid who's
understood.
in trouble. It's an innocent mistake. I understand you have to report a violation, but it's something.
So she's kind of like, saying like, oh no, he's a good boy, which I'm sure he is. And she's saying she was a former prosecutor and she's trying to like get them to kind of like dismiss the case kind of thing. They're trying to get them to just let him go and have nothing happen basically, right? They did actually drop it from a misdemeanor to like a violation or something. They did drop it a bit. So like that is pretty good, right? Like I think her privilege got her somewhere. I think her saying I was a former federal prosecutor did help. Like that helped her a lot. Her privilege did help. I think this is why a lot of people are mad at her because like she's using her privilege to try to get out of something when she says she doesn't like that. And a lot of other reasons too that I'm not going to get into because it's deep and it's a lot and I'm not going to get into it. I did see from a creator online who talked about this. She had a clip of why it's hypocritical where Sunny's talking about, oh, well, if it's a law for everyone.
You can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
So it really is a celebration of the law.
It's a celebration of the law and how it applies to
that kind of hypocrisy that is really annoying people where she's so hypocritical and she says so many things that just aren't true. I think when something happens, it's easier for people to jump on this and be like, see, like, look what you're doing. You are using your privilege things and then you're going to do the opposite, which that's kind of how I feel too. I don't think this situation was the worst. I don't think she was like, I'm on The View and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that happened, but like, I do think she is using some of her privilege here. It wasn't the worst, wasn't the greatest, but it was interesting. What do you guys think about the whole situation? I'd love to hear your opinions below. Thanks so much for joining. Bye-bye.